Shalom. We are in Parashah Shoftim. That means judges. Last week we had Parashah Re'eh. That means to see, an insight. And we had a few insights there. The main theme of last week's Parashah for us is the warning to our brothers and sisters who abolished the Torah. And the warning basically states that they stand a very good chance of going into the wilderness experience again, which is called the winepress. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Some people might not agree with it. Doesn't matter. It's been confirmed and reconfirmed over and over again. I think the first study I did was 2019 or 17, where I revealed this concept. Anyway, moving on to Shoftim. Now, Shoftim is the plural for Shafat. Shafat means to judge or to govern or to rule, if you break it down to its verbal root. So someone has the ability to rule, or someone is under the authority of someone else who is now ruling. Now that's the way the old world worked, the kingdom of Yahweh worked. You are under the authority of the king. Even the same with Potiphar was a prince under Pharaoh. He was someone who had the title of being part of the household of Pharaoh. So it's closer than just, you're the manager, you're this, you're that. No, you're part of the family now. And as an extension of this family, you now rule. Now, in the same context, a bond servant is not someone foreign that is hired to run your affairs. It's a family member. Through adoption, you become part of the household. And having the ownership of what's inside the house, what's the purpose of the house, what's the goal of the house, and what's the function of the house, you are now given responsibilities or authority to govern and to rule from within. And that's the idea of a judge. Family member that's got the anointing and the ability and the authority to rule. Now from Shafat, I think it's 389, it's the Gematria. There are two things that stand out in the meanings of 389. And that is, my Father is safety or salvation, and my Father is peace. That is the outcome of why Yahweh want judges in his household. It is to come to the point of safety, to lead you in a time of trouble, to protect you and provide safety within. And then the next stage is shalom, or peace. Now we know that Jerusalem is the teaching of peace. And that's where the teacher will teach the message of peace, which is the Torah from the mountain at Jerusalem, or Jerusalem. So that's the idea of the purpose of a judge. And when you look at the Gematria, this is another interesting thing, is that this book is read within the month of Elul. Now, Elul is the 6th month. If you can recall, the first month is the spring festivals, Passover, unleavened bread, and then it starts first fruits, which is counting the Omer, and then you count right through to Shavuot, which is in month 4. For those who can't register that and struggle with that idea, please go back to the Parashah, I can't remember which one it was, that talks about, it's probably 10 Torah portions back, it talks about Shavuot that is in the 4th month, specifically the 28th day of the 4th month of counting the Omer. And the 4th month, if you look at the 7-branch menorah and you overlay the months, the 4th month is actually right in the center anyway. And then it moves into the 6th month, which is Elul, and then the 7th month, which is the fall festivals. And guess what's happening in the fall festivals? What are they prophetic a picture of? The judgment of Yahweh. So we are now in the month of Elul, prophetically preparing for the judge who is coming. Now last week in the Parashah I mentioned that Yeshua doesn't have 2 comings, there's 3 comings. He first came as a suffering servant, done and dusted, fulfilled the Passover and the sacrifices. Then he will come again, but this time as the judge. Now, during the judge, you need salvation, you need safety, and that's the meaning of the gematria of judge. And then at the end of that, after the 7th millennium, after the winepress, the city will come down with the bride, with the king, and he will teach Shalom at Jerusalem. That is, Yahweh is peace. And that's the final meaning of the gematria of judge. So those are the functions of Mashiach, his first, second, and third comings. First as servant, second as judge, and third as king. Now we are appointed to prepare. Now, month of Elul is overlaying the book of Devarim perfectly. Devarim is about preparing for entering into the time that is to come, with the tribulation and the winepress and then the city coming down. It's all about preparation. And what I always say about festivals, the preparation of the feast is just as important, or maybe more important, than the feast itself. Because if you're not preparing, you can't celebrate it. If you're not even prepared to know when it is, you'll totally miss it. So preparation is everything. Timing is everything. So the preparation of entering into the 7th month is Elul. And that Elul started yesterday with the sliver of the new moon. So Elul started, and we are now in the first week of Elul. And that's where Shoftim is. So Yahweh wants to start off this month to say, hey, judges, I want you to prepare the bride. And why am I saying that? Because Elul is an acronym. It's Aleph Lamed, Vav Lamed. It's an acronym for the phrase that people engrave on their rings, which is Ani Ledodi Vedodi Li. That means I am my beloved's and my beloved is mine. It's all about the preparation of the bride and the groom. Now, guess what? The groom is also preparing, but the bride should also prepare. Now, we that claim to be the bride, we need to prepare this month for entering into month 7. And this month is prophetic of the time prior to crossing the Jordan. Things that we've discussed for the last 3 Torah portions. And without preparing, you cannot be the bride without spot or wrinkle. Now, the gematria of Elul is 6-7, which is quite fascinating, because Elul is month 6 and Tishri is month 7, where you get the 4 festivals that depicts the judgment of Yahweh and the coming of Mashiach, who's going to gather his bride. And within the gematria, it says that Yahweh is building something, and he's completing a building process. Guess what that means? What word in Hebrew has that meaning? It's the word shalom. Shalom means the completion of the building process. When you're finished, you stand back and you look at this marvelous work that you just constructed, and that sigh of relief and that sigh of satisfaction, just marveling at your handiwork. That is what Yahweh will do at his shalom. And that's what Elul is about, is to prepare for that starting point, because he can't wait to complete the house, to complete the bride, to complete the household, to complete the city, and then for the city to come down, and then to have this wonderful kingdom in which we will live with him in his shalom. So I'm just going to leave you with that. Beautiful pictures in this parasha. Moving forward, also linking back into last week's parasha. And I'm also going to do a double Torah portion. I'm not going to present this Sabbath. I'm going to take the Saturday off. So I'll do a double Torah portion the following Sabbath. But I'll keep you up to date on my studies as I go throughout the week. So I hope you have a wonderful day. And have Yahweh Shalom. See you later.